This is Frida Liu. You're watching The Shift Asia, where we explore the people and ideas transforming sustainability and responsible business across the region. Today, we're speaking with Brice Degeyter, founder and CEO of Bizsu, a Singapore-based company helping businesses reduce their environmental footprint through practical, data-driven sustainability solutions. From energy-efficient technologies to eco-friendly products, Bizsu is on a mission to make sustainability accessible and actionable for companies of all sizes. We're going to ask Brice what inspired him to start this and how they're helping companies cut air conditioning bills by up to 50% and what it takes to make green transformation realistic for businesses out here in Asia. So Brice, nice speaking to you. Welcome. And for those who may not be familiar, how would you describe what Bizsu does in simple terms?
We decarbonize cities. That's our mission.
Right.
10 years ago, I realized when I was living in Bangkok in Thailand, I realized how terrible our cities are for our environment, how enormous is the consumption of buildings and malls overall. And I realized that nobody really wanted to change that, or nobody was really offering easy to implement solutions for companies. And so this is why we are in this situation.
Right.
And so we want to offer a very simple plug and play solution for any company to use.
Right.
And so basically right now, as you rightly mentioned, we can easily help companies save 50% energy relatively easily.
Right. And of course, one of the most attention-grabbing claims about what you do is how you can help companies drastically cut their energy bills, especially with air conditioning, something that every building in Asia relies on. And how exactly does that work?
So it's actually very simple. We use I would say passive and active solutions. So basically, we talk a lot about technology to reduce our energy consumption in buildings. It's one way to do it, but it's not everything. Basically, we can optimize it with technology. We can optimize the way that we consume. However, if we really want to reduce our energy consumption, we need to completely change the way that we have been using our energy. And so we will implement, I would say, physical product, or I would say we will implement passive solutions that will help to drastically improve the way that we use our air conditioning units, and so drastically reduce the energy consumption linked to the air conditioning unit. And at the same time, we will use other type of technologies that will optimize the energy usage. So I will give concrete example. One thing that is commonly done right now in cities, or it's not present in every building, but it's I would say that it's more and more present in cities, is that we will automatically stop air conditioning usage in areas where we have nobody. Right? This is relatively common now. It can be done with AI without doing anything. This is good. We can save 10 to 30% energy in buildings. On top of it, we can use something as simple as this piece of material that I have in front of me. So there is 10 years of R&D behind it. It's patented, obviously. And when you add this in the air conditioning unit, you can reduce by 25%, by another 25%, your air conditioning consumption. And so basically, just complementing these two solutions, you can drastically improve your air con consumption, if you only talk about this. Air conditioning consumption, we need to understand. This is around 2/3 of the energy consumption of a building. And this is as much as 30% of the carbon footprint of a city like Singapore, where we are. Overall, right, in the world, it's around 3%, so as much as the aviation industry. And in Europe, in the US, we love to say that the aviation is terrible for our environment, where air conditioning in a city like Singapore is 10 times higher. In other large and dense cities in Asia, it's probably not as high, but it's still enormously high. And so there is an urgency to drastically reduce it. And it's not only for environment, because at the end of the day, if a company can reduce its energy consumption, it's money that is saved. It's obviously sustainability initiative that they can talk about. So their employees are happy about it. Their customers are happy about it. All their stakeholders are happy about it. Their image is better. So it's basically a positive circle that is triggered. So any company basically should start it as soon as possible.
Right. So maybe you share a little bit that IP product, right? What's the science or technology behind this, and is it always about smarter systems, new materials, also changing user behavior?
So you are definitely right. So basically, right now we consume so much that we need to to improve in different ways. I was speaking with a very known professor in terms of sustainability in Singapore, and he said, basically sustainability, it's if we really want to improve it, it's everywhere, every time, and everything at once. It's basically we need to change many different things. And so bringing solutions is one thing, and changing behavior, it's obviously another thing. So simple things like, when we are in a building, putting the thermostat at 24, 25 degrees, it's definitely enough. And it's much better for pretty much everybody. Then obviously improving solutions. The misconception that we have is that it's usually costly and complicated to implement. I will give a concrete example of how wrong this can be. So recently, we made public a result that we had with a business school in Singapore. We helped them save 25% energy with the solution that I just shown before. We have done the implementation in just a few hours, so it was much less than a day. No disruption, and they can keep the product without an issue for more than 20 years.
Right. Okay.
Without changing anything. Right. So every year they will save 38 tons of carbon dioxide. Right. Every single year. Right. As simple as this, right? So it means that one day we arrive, we did that, and then they had some, most companies have some objective, right, in terms of carbon reduction. It means that if we do that, in less than a day, you have your carbon objective for the year that are reached. As simple as this. So you save money, and it's very, very easy to implement.
And I guess, you'll be looking at offices, hotels, and manufacturing plants. Have they already? Is that your main target audience?
So main target audience for us is companies that will consume air con a lot, obviously. So warehouses, hospitals, hotels, data centers. In schools as well, because they actually consume quite a lot as well. In this case, they're open 24/7. Right. And so then we will also work with offices, because offices consume a lot and will have quite a lot of people, so large spaces. Malls, obviously, it's something very important to do. So when we are in Singapore, it's basically 99% of the buildings, and it's probably a little bit lower in other cities, in other countries, but it's roughly it. As long as you pay for your energy, basically we can work together and we can help you save money.
Right. And you have been in Singapore for how long now?
So 7 years. It's been 11 years in the region, and this is really my journey really started when I arrived. 10 years ago, nobody talked about sustainability really, and I would say, frankly speaking, nobody cared really. It was not a problem, and so since COVID, everybody talked about it, but years before it wasn't a problem at all, and it doesn't mean that there was no problem. It's just that it was not
Talked
obvious,
about.
right? For everybody. And so back in the days when I had no background in sustainability at all, and I started to research, right? And so I started to watch some conferences about specific professors. I started to read a lot, and quickly enough, people call me an expert in sustainability.
Right.
And then, just after a few months, then I thought, like, if I am the expert and I'm brand new about it,
right.
then it means that we are in big trouble.
Right.
And actually, it reinforced the idea that I really had to be more involved about it, because this is a problem that is so important, not only for us now, but for generations to come, that I thought I should be part of it. And my goal is really, like, when I want to I want to be able to tell my future grandchildren that I help their environment to be better. I help their planet to be better. I did my best to make their life as good as possible.
Where was the technology developed? What you just showed?
What I mentioned here.
Yeah.
This is coming from Japan.
Ah, okay, all right.
Yeah, okay. And so he has been on the market for quite a few years now, and everywhere it goes, basically, it's fantastic.
Right.
It's magnificent.
Right. So you have the proprietary rights to that technology.
So basically, what we do, what I wanted to start with, it's I don't define myself as an inventor per se. Developing a technology is not really my thing. However, I could see that there were plenty of technologies out there that are amazing, and nobody knows them, because going from ideation to mainstream adoption, it's extremely complicated, and it requires resources that are completely different. Right. And so my objective is to take these beautiful technologies made by very smart people and help them to be known by as many people as possible. Help them to be adopted at a mainstream scale.
Right. And a lot of companies still see sustainability as an added cost rather than investment. So is it a lot more easier now in terms of mindsets?
Well, I would say somehow every day it gets better and better. But it's still, it's less of a thing, but we still have people clearly who thinks that is complicated and it requires investment. Our goal is to prove every day our clients that it's not the case, that you can start saving energy and save money with zero, no investment required. And the name of the company is called Bizsu. So Bizsu it means when business meets sustainability. Because when I started the company 6 years ago, nobody thought that we were able to make a business in sustainability. People thought that it was completely different. But wait, you are in sustainability, but how do you make it a business? Well, because sustainability, now it's a bit more obvious, but sustainability is a business. And it has to be a business. If we want to really improve it drastically, it has to be a business. We need to have a business case behind it. And so we tell every day to our clients that it requires no investment if we want to start improving our carbon footprint.
Right. Yeah. Are there still any misconceptions that you hear from clients or prospects about sustainability?
Well, yes. Yes, in different ways. Let me think about an example. Well, one thing is that usually we don't realize how much energy is important. We don't really realize that the energy that we use in buildings, for example, how important it can be. In the world, 40% of our carbon footprint is linked to buildings. 40%. It's insane. And very simple things as improving the air conditioning usage, like just increasing the temperature by 1 degree, for example, just this, it's actually enormous. So increasing the aircon by 1 degree help you save, on average, 10% energy.
Right.
As simple as this. And sometimes you can easily improve it by 2 to 3 degrees.
Right.
Honestly speaking.
And just the way we dress, right? We don't need jackets.
We don't need a jacket.
Right.
We don't need a jacket.
In this part of the world. Yeah.
And you know, like right now, I don't have a jacket. I feel cold.
Okay.
It shouldn't be the case,
right?
because 2 meters away from it, just outside of the window, it's 30 degrees, and so basically I would be sweating. It makes no sense. And so there are a lot of misconception. Like we think that aircon is a must for everybody, and then we need to put the temperature very, very low.
Right.
That's usually a misconception. We usually tend to think that only technologies can help us to improve our energy consumption. Right. Again, completely wrong. Right. Something as simple as this, right, will do much more than a lot of technologies out there. We usually think that if there is something as simple as this, it means that it cannot be effective. Right? Yeah. So pretty much every day we see things like this. That's also our job, to you and me, to change this.
And final question, Brice. You know, you on the back there, you said to help our clients save 1 million tons of CO2 by 2027. Where are you now?
I asked you.
And then after 2027, what will be, your goal?
Yeah. So where are we now? We are not there yet, right? That's why it's there. Yeah. So it's still an objective to reach. Where we will be after 2027. Our objective is to decarbonizing cities.
Right.
Right. Today, carbon in cities is still a problem. Right. Cities still consume a lot of carbon. Right. So basically, our objective is still the same. Right. Continuing to do our best to decarbonizing cities for our generation and the generations to come. Right. As long as this objective is not reached, we will be there.
All right. So all the best with this journey. Looking forward to more exciting things as we try to reduce carbon emissions. Thanks for being with us, Brice, and for the work that you do.